Thank you very much, Director Powell, dear Rusty, President Bracco, Dr. Bracco, Dr. Giulio Bracco, and all of you. I am very honored and very pleased to be here to say a few words about this really extraordinary event, which is the presentation of the exhibit Canaletto and his rivals at the National Gallery of Art. And I think that nothing was more eloquent, possibly, than the presentation of the curator of the exhibit, Charles Beddington, to whom I would like really to extend a warm thanks for really this fantastic way of not only comparing, but also getting in depth into the research material which is presented by the masterpieces that are presented in this exhibit. It is a very significant moment for my country here in Washington, but in the United States in a larger sense, the presentation of this exhibit. And it's a very significant moment because it coincides almost exactly with the birth certificate of the Italian as a united country. As you know, Italy went through the process of a very successful moment which is called Risorgimento, which was a great, not only idealistic, but social, economic and national movement which moved over the 30 years in the first part of the 19th century towards the assertion of principles of freedom and dignity, of humanity, of human rights and the human values. So the presentation of this exhibit coincides and attracts the attention of the public, but also of the researchers, to a fundamental moment of Italian history, also by coincidence of dates, but also stressing values and motivation of the human being, of the Italian artist, towards the great ideas which have represented my country in the middle of the 19th century. I would like to underline, it was done by previous speakers, but to underline how successful was the idea of this exhibit, which has been made possible thanks to the generosity of Dr. Diana Bracco, President of its official sponsor, the Bracco Foundation, as well as by the National Gallery of Art and by the curator, Charles Beddington. The Bracco Foundation key mission of promoting Italian historic and artistic heritage throughout the world is achieved by connecting culture and science with a view also to improving people's quality of life. This was the Foundation's goal, also when in 2006 he collaborated with the National Gallery of Art in bringing the great masters of Renaissance to Washington. So there's a continuity in the policy of the Foundation, which is particularly evident at the National Gallery of Art in Washington. As I said, Venice, Canaletto and his rivals offers a unique perspective of how the 18th century Italians saw Venice. 21 canvases by Canaletto and 34 by outstanding painters such as Vanvitelli, Carlevaris, Marieschi, Bellotto and Guardi describe each artist's take on Venice and their way of relating to its beauty. This research specific angle is to present both competing stylistic visions and the multifaceted richness of the Venetian way of life. And that was very well described again by the curator in proposing to us such telling images of the painters. Venice represents for them all and for us a true dream. In a way, these artists show that the approach to the Venice legacy is the way to look at this exhibit. And this approach is not only an intellectual stimulus, but it is also a manner of looking at the past to understand the present and the future. As an example, blending culture and science brought the Velutisti to the use of camera obscura, and the dream of the past and of the future blend to show us the multitude of cultures which come together in the views of Venice and the Venetians themselves. Venice is a city of culture, just think of Biennale, and of cinema, think of the International Festival, and it is also infused with a mysterious aura embodied in its renowned carnival. everybody knows that Marco Polo's legacy entails that Venice is seen as Europe's door to the Orient. And in other words, it represents an Italian calling towards the East, truly pivotal in today's international context. This exhibition is situated in the framework of events through which we celebrate, as I was saying, the 150th anniversary of the unification of Italy. Celebrations which include, here in the United States, a very rich agenda, but this exhibit is in fact a true highlight in visual arts and in relating with the Venetian experience. And this agenda is under the auspices of the President of the Republic of Italy, Honorable Giorgio Napolitano. Over 150 events, ranging from architecture to painting, from history to philosophy, from music to the Italian language, and from cinema to scientific research, are being held throughout the most important cities in the United States in these very months. And this program truly makes 2011 the year of Italian culture in the United States, and confirms, therefore, the unique bonds which were explicitly mentioned by President Obama in his Columbus Day proclamation, when he recalled last October that the 150th anniversary of the unification of Italy is part of the incalculable contribution of Italian Americans in making this country so great. And I'm sure that everybody agrees with me that this exhibit shows how important is the contribution of Italian culture, a unique richness and wealth of contemporary world as it was in the past and as it will be in the future. How important is this contribution to the understanding between the United States and Italy, and also to the development of culture in the United States. Thank you very much.